I got to remember to do this before every recording because I forget to do this, but I'm going to do this now. So here we are. Here's a new opening. Welcome to Fit the Description, where various black men come together and talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about. And I'm not going to waste your time. Let's get right into the podcast.
Call me Cougar Bait. To all the haters, I'm gonna call you too late.
Keep going. I'm listening.
Ugh, hard. That shit hit hard. That shit hit different. Nobody even know that song.
All right.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to answering your question. So you said, okay, and I have to counter what you were saying about Ghost riding the whip.
Yeah.
With this, there's levels to this. There's a difference between us wanting to have fun and committing crimes. I've never played Mortal Kombat and said, hey, let me take my face off and, give somebody third-degree burns. Let me try to be like Kano, stab somebody with a hatchet and pull their heart out. That's never been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
The only kids I've ever known who did that, well, I should say no, but no who've done that, they were mentally ill already. And it wasn't because of video games. They were just mentally disturbed. And they didn't get the idea from video games. They got the idea because they were troubled kids. You know what I'm saying? But like, yes, do I want to go ride the whip as a kid? Well, yeah, it's particularly because, like I said, I'm originally from the Bay Area. So, even though I was in the Bay Area at the time, just, hey, you need to support where I'm from. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But tell me where you from the streets. From the street.
Welcome back.
So basically, you're answering my question again with you're just basically answering the question.
No, I'm not.
You're agreeing, yeah? Because you said you were like, no, I wouldn't be like Mortal Kombat and try to burn somebody, but I was ghost riding the whip. It's the same thing.
No, because it's different levels. Like I know the difference between committing a crime and then wanting to do something that just seems like fun.
Okay, but you're saying you do, right?
Well, everybody. I don't know not one person who committed a crime or chose to act out a crime due to a video game.
Do you know everybody in the world? Because I know some pretty sideways people.
I'm not saying I don't, but again, they're already mentally disturbed. They're not, like, it's not like, again, I don't know any normal people like this. I don't know anybody who has committed a heinous crime personally that did it or got the idea from a video game. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say that there's levels to this stuff. Like me, I didn't want to go out and do shit because of Grand Theft Auto. I wanted to do shit because I wanted to belong. That's why I said it was more my community that had more of an effect on me than a video game.
Yeah, well, see, I kind of disagree with that because when I first came out here in 2006 and the whole, like, we were doing the whole car shit out here, it's like that was because of Fast and the Furious. I mean, it wasn't a video game. But it was like Midnight Club, Fast and the Furious type shit. And like I said, we were out here chopping cars and stuff. So, I mean, I'm not going to ever say I didn't do anything that didn't influence, well, maybe not a video game, no, but a movie, yeah.
And that's my point. So, okay, I'll fill you in, Keith, on what we're talking about. So, I don't know if you heard, but I mean, it kind of goes back to the 90s stuff. But basically in Chicago, there's this, let me shorten it up because we already went through it and I got to shorten it up. So anyways, there's a politician in Chicago and basically he's trying to reinstate a bill to ban video games, particularly Grand Theft Auto, because there's been a higher crime activity of carjacking. And he's saying that Grand Theft Auto is the reason why there's a higher carjacking rate. And so my whole entire point is like, no, I don't believe video games influence because, well, this is my big point, particularly because Chicago. Hello?
He was like, no, don't trip. Watch this. I'm going to show y'all how to disconnect the line. Click. Dude. Yep. Oh, you. Oh. Back in a second.
I'm back.
Damn, he still ain't back?
I'm back.
Oh,
I am
about to call you a bunch of a bunch of.
But did you fill him in on what I was saying? Did you guys just go into a different conversation?
He heard it. He
Okay.
heard about it.
No. I was trying to say yes, and I heard something about that on the news. But
okay. My bad. Well, so you know about it basically.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now I have to go through the whole entire. Well, okay, this is a big point I want to make, though. All I'm saying is, since I've been alive on this earth, I never heard of South Side of Chicago being a paradise. Is all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, hell no. Like not even in the back in the day, like the 70s, 80s. No, like it's Shy Rocks has never really been like just like you said a calm place. So for like see, like I didn't know it was in Chicago. Yeah, that's stupid.
Exactly. That's my point.
That's dumb. Like you're trying to blame video games on kids doing crimes or attempting crimes. It's like
no attempt. They're committing the crimes. There's been a spike in the carjacking.
Well, I mean that shit's happening out here, and because kids are bored. I don't think it has anything to do with video games because Grand Theft Auto now. I mean, especially GTA now. Like you don't even still in the car is the last thing you do. It's like, I mean, I'm not saying you still don't steal cars, but like if you play GTA now, it's not even about stealing cars. Like I know that's how it started off, like, but it's like now, I don't know. It's just not like that. It's just like 2K isn't just basketball anymore. It's kind of a lot more.
It is, but please don't let me go into 2K because I have a rant.
Well, I would say this: 2K on the current gen, but like I said, play it on the next gen system. It's a different experience. I will say that.
Okay, fair enough.
Way different experience.
Fair enough. But I mean, this is the point I was trying to make to Adrian, and this is why, like, the point he was making, I don't really agree with. Is that that's what I'm saying. It's like the problems are bigger there. It's not a video game is not the cause of the issues. Like there's better ways. There's other ways to fix the issue. Banning video games is not going to fix that issue. And it's not because of video games. That's stupid.
Okay, but what's the initial argument? Is it that he feels that video games are the problem, or I don't understand what he said. Or would you say? Are video games the issue, or video games not the issue, or?
I mean, there really isn't a
thing. Yeah. I'm trying to let you speak for yourself because I don't want to twitch your words. So,
I mean, there really isn't a saying in there. It's just that's what it is. You're like, oh man, can you believe they're doing that? I'm like, yeah, they did that shit before. That was the main point. Like they did that shit before, and again, like if you think about it, yes. Kids do react off of games and shit like that because like I said, we did, and you're like, oh, wrestling is different. I'm like, no, it's being influenced by
no, what I said, there's levels to the shit. Hello. I gotta fix this internet. I'm calling somebody.
Then you gotta ban so much more. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I also get what G's saying. It's like, yeah, banning a video game. Okay, if that's where it starts, then okay. But you would have to ban so much more than just the one video game. And because how that all started was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And it's like, yeah, like some kid wanted to be CJ who wasn't even the same goddamn skin color as CJ. So it's like, that didn't make no sense.
I'm Franklin.
All I'm saying is this: art imitates life. That's how I feel.
What was that?
I said art imitates.
English, please? No.
I said art imitates life. So is video games a problem, or it's a problem someplace else?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is is, and yes, I am a big defender of video games. All I'm saying is, no, the problem to me does not come from video games, nor from Grand Theft Auto. It comes from things that are going on in these neighborhoods and in life that we need to look at. If you think video games is going to solve the problem, no. Like, I mean, Keith, you said it yourself. Video games is a release.
It is. And I stand by, like, I don't smoke and I don't drink and I don't do any of that, but like I could, like, okay, if you're working 24/7, like, yeah, I used to work like 30 days straight. So I didn't have time to play a lot of like video games, or like I would work, like, I think one time I worked like 38 days straight or like 42 days straight. Like, it was crazy. And like I said, I didn't have time to play the video games. Did I think about it? Of course the fuck I did. But it's like, I don't have time. I got to get sleep. I got to do this and whatever. But yeah, no, it's a release. Like, I mean, I just feel like if you have the willpower to not play video games, it means that you have so much other going on in your life. But it's like, that's perfectly fine. Like, some people don't see the allure in video games. It's like some people hit the gyms, some people hoops, some people do drugs, some people drink. Like, I don't drink or smoke. So people who usually don't play video games, they sit around either drinking or smoking, or they have some type of other ailment or outlet that I just don't know not one person that just doesn't do anything and just works and comes home. Like, there's just no fucking way. You have an ailment just because, like, whether it be eating, whether it be snacking, I don't give a hell what it is. Like, you have an ailment. And now, whether you want to share that ailment or not, I just found video games ever since I was a kid, and from my household situation, it just gave me a chance for me to take time to myself. Like me, I don't read books or nothing like that, which, I mean, I wish I did more. But like I said, video game, it just immerses you in a world of, yes, I mean, like, and that's not your world. I'm not saying I had a bad childhood, or like, you know, it was just awful, or I couldn't stand my life, but I was in a house with 6-7 other people. So any type of release from that was nice. But as an adult playing video games, at least I can share it with my kids and you know, all those other things. But honestly, it's just a safer way to go about life. It's like, I like my liver, like I like my lungs, so I don't smoke or drink. So I need to find another source of entertainment. And sports is not what it used to be. So I can't just sit up there watching sports all the time, because, like I said, it's just not what it used to be. And then sports isn't on 24 hours a day. It's like, I watch basketball and football, but at 2 a.m, I can't just watch sports. Like, you know, there is no live games on. So I gotta wait from the hours of now into like 6 till now. It's like, okay, that's so inconvenient. Like, I do feel like they should expand sports, but that's why if you pay for like NBA TV and then you get all the games at any time, it's like, I'm not paying for that. I shouldn't have to pay for. That's the one thing I did miss as a kid. It's like Michael Jordan was on every Saturday. Every Saturday, I knew I was going to see a Bulls game. It didn't matter who was playing. You got a Bulls game. It's just like when I was a kid, the Cowboys were really big. Every Sunday, it was a Cowboys game. Every Sunday, it was a Cowboys game on. I mean, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but like I said, it's just how it used to be. But that's just not how it is now. It's like, I mean, it's a business, and I mean, I get it. I like, and that's the one thing I hate about being an adult, but then again, I do love. It's like everything has a business aspect, and I feel like video games or kids killing themselves because of video games, it's a business. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many people kill themselves. It's a business. They don't care. They don't care if people kill themselves. They don't care if a kid shoots up a school because he saw it in a TV show. They're not going to stop doing it. They're just not going to. And that's just something that we have to live with as people. Now to Adrian's point, yes, like I said, his his half, I agree. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like it's all out there. It's like, you know, it doesn't matter. Kids are going to feed off of one thing or the other. It's like video games. When you make a video game, it's just like how you said Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is a game, a TV show, a cartoon, and a movie. So you can't get away from it. You literally can't. You can't get away from it. It's literally on your phones. It's like Mortal Kombat is probably one game that is on every single platform that I can think of. Cartoon, movie, video game, mobile devices. I can't think of a platform that it's not on. And now they're remaking it, and like it's even more brutal than what it was before. I didn't think Mortal Kombat could get more brutal, especially if you watch a TV show, even a new cartoon that Scorpion's Revenge or whatever it is. I watched that with the kids, and I was like, "Oh my god! I don't think I should have watched this with the kids. Like, it was that bad. It was. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a good flick. It was a good animated movie. But I don't think that. Like, I kind of feel bad because I just thought it was just going to be a regular movie, like a regular animated film. But like that movie and the Deathstroke movie, it's like these films are getting more like not just action or blood and gore. They're getting more sexual too, man. It's like that's the reason why I said it's everywhere. You can't stop your kids from just watching anything. And I just feel like our minds were more advanced from right and wrong. And that's what I tell G all the time. It's like I feel like we had more common sense of right and wrong. Even to this day, I feel like we do. But I feel like kids nowadays, they truly don't understand what's right and wrong. And because parents are too afraid to parent. It's like our parents weren't afraid to parent. So yes, I do agree. It goes back on the whole, it's just the in the house problem. It's we can't parent how we want to parent. So we have to let kids not really do what they want to do, but kids do have a lot of freedom nowadays that I know damn well I didn't have. I mean, maybe you guys did, but I know I did it.
Damn.
I'm not trying to be quiet. I just want to see what Adrian has to say.
You mean what I have to say? He's basically, agreeing with me and adding his own point.
No, but he's agreeing with me too. So what are you talking about? Like, don't no. Forget
Oh
that.
man,
Bruh. Nah.
like I said, man, there's just two sides to the coin. It's like you can look at it two different ways. I don't think either of you guys are wrong. I just think you guys see it in two different ways. It's just like okay, for instance, I don't think G is capable of seeing certain things, and because he doesn't have kids, it's like if you have kids, and then you can know that feeling of okay, is it just a video game, or it's like, is it not just a video game? It's like,
I mean, you know what though? I do agree because there's there's a lot of shit that I watched as a kid that I tried to watch with my kid, and I was like, yo, I'm mad uncomfortable here. What the
yeah, right?
Like, and it was like goofy shit like Wayne's World.
Yeah.
That movie Wayne's World.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, let's turn this shit on. This is great. I watched it and I was like your age, and I looked at it like, what
No. No. Watch the PJs. And the PJs are harmless, bro. But you watch this with your kids, and you're like
this
wait a minute, what the fuck are they talking about? Like,
this dude was a freak. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, every show now, there's a problem. Like, again, like G was like, how do you ban it? I'm like, bro, I had to turn off my TV the other day. Like, I was just like, yo, man, this shit is getting outrageous. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with these shows. And this show was so hyped. Like, everybody kept telling me, oh, this show is great. This show is great. So I'm thinking and it looked the look was deceiving. It looked like a gangster type of Boys in the Hood thing, but when I watched it, yeah, it was not that. They was
Dude. Oh no, go.
nah.
I'm sorry.
What?
Oh no, go.
You broke up.
Talk. No.
Oh,
No, he's talking
no,
to
I
you.
said,
Yeah.
no, I said I'm good. Keep talking. I'm so sorry.
oh, yeah, no, that just I don't know. it just it messes you up when you sit there and look at that shit. So nah, man, it like I do agree with Keith. Like you just gotta when you start looking at shit with someone looking over your shoulder, you're like, oh wait a minute, what the hell am I watching here? Turn that off.
But
Let's go
just
to Bible studies.
But you see, I had to agree with Keith too, because what he said was something that I agree with and we talked about before. Parenting is part of the issue too. To me, I feel like too many parents want everybody else to raise their kids instead of parents raising their kids. Like I agree with Keith. Like we didn't have as many freedoms as these kids have now. And that technically isn't always a good thing, you know? So if you're not watching what your kid is doing, at least trying to be a parent, I mean, what do you think they're gonna do or get into? You know, like
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like I just don't believe that. Like put it like this. It's not my job to raise your kid. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care what anybody says. It's not my job. That's your job.
Okay. Yeah, you know what though? It's not your job to raise your kid anymore either.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know about that. It's not. It's
Exactly.
illegal to raise your kid now.
Exactly.
And that's
It's
the
like
problem.
it's
My point.
you know,
Your kid's
it's
supposed
in
to
this
have their own
world.
life and opinions and like that.
Exactly. And that's just it. You can't just smack yourself like the whole George and Wheezy thing back in the day. Like I said, they don't have TV shows like Stanford His Son no more, where he threatening her and squaring up with her. It's like they ain't got nothing like that no more. But it's just like I tell people, it's like it's like we sit our kids in front of these TVs and give them unlimited access to be like, okay, watch, Hulu and Netflix. But Netflix has two cartoons on there that are called Big Mouth and Hoops. And Big Mouth is a bunch of kids. I'm talking about elementary school kids going through puberty. And like I said, it's a funny show. Shouldn't be watched by kids, but it's a funny show. But you sitting here looking at these kids like, who just sat around thinking of this? And then Hoops is about high school kids going through the transition of high school. But this coach is just a pervert. And then Hulu has another show and with little like dolls, and that's called Crossing Swords. And I watched the whole season and I was just like, I can't believe what the hell I just watched. These are these little old school toys that they used to have, and just the graphicness of this cartoon is insane. And it's like I tell people, yes, okay, it's the kid area to like Hulu and Netflix, but it's not like the kids can't be like, okay, I'm not gonna go to the kid area. I'm gonna go to mom's. I'm gonna go to dad's. It's like, so that's what I'm saying. It's like we had the common sense to watch like the Dragon Ball Z's of old, or the Triguns or the Gundams, or just like any of those vulgar animes like, Yu Yu Hakusho or, Inuyasha. I mean, all these really ranchy animes that like I said,
let's talk about the most open one. Tenchi Muyo. I'm sure you remember, that one.
Tenchi Muyo was not for kids. There's no way that if my aunt saw what I was watching, she just saw a cartoon. So like I got lucky on that. But it's like if you watch that cartoon, it's like you got this middle school kid who's going into high school, who's living in a house with girls who literally want to bang him. Ooh, that's their mind state. And this is on Cartoon Network. Like, wait a minute, what? Like, but at the same time, we had advanced cartoons. We had Johnny Bravo's, and like, even though this is later, but like I'm saying that we still had Batman the animated series, like that Batman the animated series. If you watch the first 5 episodes of that did not feel like a cartoon for kids. It felt like a cartoon for adults. And then after a while, it got kiddish after a while. But it's like,
I just want to add this in here, and that's why I said we had the best Batman. Go ahead.
And it's like we had cartoons that were more advanced for the time. It's just like Looney Tunes. It's like they've been pushing transsexuals and all this shit for years, but like we just saw Bugs dressing up like that just to get away from Elmer Fudd. We didn't see it as okay, you know, Bugs is a transsexual or this or that, but now they're just pushing this shit. And it's like, that's what I'm saying. Or not, I'm saying this is what Adrian's saying. Like, we're not really in control of what our kids, you know, see or do. But like, I feel like in a way, it's because we don't want our kids to grow up to just 100% hate us. Like, you know, I know some kids that are my age that just hate their parents because they just were too strict and shit like this. But it's like, I don't want my kids to hate me, but like, I'm just to the point of where they're gonna make their own choices. It's like, and it's like, but it's like, I think back in the day, like when I was 8 and 10, I didn't have no option to make my own choices. Like I couldn't even pick out my own clothes, let alone what I want to eat tonight. It's like I'm literally asking my kids, you know, what do you guys want to eat? Like fish sticks or this or that. They're like, dude, I didn't get that. I didn't get that.
We're going to eat. Here's your meal.
Yeah, exactly. Here's your drink. Yep. Like it could be water one day, it could be soda the next. Like you might get 30 days of water and maybe a juice on the 31st day, and then you'll get a soda the next day, and then 50 days of water. It's like it wasn't like I said, it like dude. These kids got boxes of Capri Suns. I went to the store and bought them snacks, and she brings them home snacks every time she comes home from school. They got literally snacks on the table, like, and they're just their snacks, and they just eat like gummy bears, gummy worms, Gushers, chips, like, and like I don't care. I don't care if you eat them, but the thing about it is, even if they eat it all and it's gone, and we just buy it again, like we don't really ask them. Like, yes. The only thing I ask them now is eat this shit in like moderation. Like, don't just be like a dog and just eat it all at once. Like, that's the only thing I ask now.
Dude, but that I can't. I swear, I had a freaking chick that explained to me one time how programmed I was. And it was real. Like I had to think about it. Like, holy shit! They were like, your parents programmed you, and I'm like, how do you mean? Is that because when we go and get food, like, okay, let's say we go to Jack in the Box or whatever, and you order the meal, cool, put the drink in the cup holder, start rolling. They were like, what do you eat? And I'm like, well, you know, eat the fries. And they said, you do understand that's because you were programmed as you were a kid. Like, how you figure that? I was like, because when you were a kid, what did your parent hand you first?
Fries.
The fries. Why? Yeah. Because if they give you the burger, you're gonna make a mess in the car.
Yeah.
But that was all you got until you guys got to a specific location where they could give you fries and drink. And they would only hand, like, you wouldn't get the drink. Like, they would hand you the drink when they felt you needed it because you were eating too many fries. But that was all you got. So as an adult, that's how I eat my food. Okay, it's just how it is, you know. Like,
well, I can't say. Well, I mean, you can.
I'm different. I'm different
too.
Like,
that's what I said. I'm not really like that, man. But go ahead.
No, but I will say this: when it comes to like a 3-course meal, like a meats, vegetables, and stuff like that, it's like I was taught to eat all the vegetables and the meat last. But it's crazy because everybody in my house eats the meats first and the vegetables last. It's like, okay, if I have vegetables like macaroni and cheese and meat, it's like I will eat the vegetables first, then the macaroni and cheese, then the meat. It's like that's just how I was taught. It's like so. Then I think she asked me one time, like, you don't care if the meat gets cold. It's like I've never even thought about that. It's just like I've just been doing it for so long.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's how you were programmed.
Yeah, like, you know, as long as it's somewhat warm, I don't give a shit at the end of the day.
Exactly.
But it's like,
you eat your vegetables first.
You see, I was.
It's like I couldn't imagine eating my vegetables last. Like I wouldn't even want to touch them.
Exactly.
I can touch them. Like,
I was never like that. I was never like that ever.
Because you're younger than us. I thought we established this earlier.
Actually, to be honest, G is actually a couple of months older than me.
Yeah, I really am.
That's pretty sad.
I'm just an old soul. I feel like I was raised by older people.
Yeah. Because
I
kids
just feel
now,
like
and it's not even that kids nowadays, they like, yes, we don't really have the ability to raise a kid like you're supposed to, but then on the other aspect of it, kids get way too much information. Like kids' heads should explode. Like I can understand why they like are bipolar and shit off stuff
Oh man,
because
you know what?
these
Hold on.
kids get
Before you
everything.
before you go, because I mean not go, but this is one thing. That's the point I really want to talk to. I guess you're about to answer it. And that's pretty much my deeper conversation is where do you think these problems are coming from? Because yeah, I do see a lot of kids having like I don't know about y'all, but I know when we were growing up, I'm not saying we didn't have mental issues or whatever, but holy crap, it's like every single child on this earth has something wrong with them or has some kind of condition or some mental thing. It's like,
I mean, that's easy, man.
Dude.
That's easy. It's like I will say that our generation had like social media, but it wasn't as big as it is now. But I will say, I truly feel like it's just the pressure of the world, and it's these parents who are basically either us, a little bit older than us, not being there for their kids as much as they should be, and because we live check to check, people that don't live check to check. So I feel like society doesn't allow you to be there for your kid, and it's like your kid understands that, but at the same time, and they're mentally being punished. And like I feel like that plays a big part in a lot of these kids' suicide. It's like their parents are there, but their parents aren't there. It's like, okay, our parents weren't there because they were working, but it's like we had friends and we had, we had other friends' parents, and we had, I mean, I will agree with you on this one thing, like a nuclear family, but it's like I won't say a too much nuclear family. We had it's just like, okay, for instance, I would go over G's house, and G's mom was there, and it's like it was just a bunch of people. G's mom is cool, and I'm not saying that we could just sit down and talk to her about anything, but it's like, she would interact, or G would come to see where I live, and like everybody would interact, and you don't have that now, and because of the restrictions of life. I was just talking to somebody about this. I was like, damn, why can't we, or it's just like we used to get football games in the street. It's like we didn't care, and it's like cars understood that kids are gonna play in the street. Okay, yes, they'd honk or whatever, or it's like we would see a car coming and we move, and we do this for hours. It didn't matter. And it's like now it's like kids, it's like, when did we stop letting our kids go of other kids' houses? It's just a fear, and we've been programmed to fear it. It's like you don't want, and then even our kids always ask us like, how come I can't cook over here? And so she told them like, okay, I talk to the parents and this and that, but it's like people are just afraid of, this is the biggest thing that I've learned. You're afraid if something happens and you're not there to do anything about it. That's the fear.
I can understand
that's the biggest fear. If your kid gets hurt in your house, or somebody else's kid gets hurt in your house, you're there. You can understand it. It's your house. But it's like if your kid gets taken, I hate to say it, raped or touched or molested, and you can't do anything about it. It's a fear. It's a fear of something happening, and you can't control it. And so everybody tells their kids, no, like you can't go over this person's house. I used to be at all my friends' houses, and like their moms had boyfriends or, this and that. It's just like, I won't say his name on here, but I had a friend, and like his mom was just out there, man. And it's like they would smoke together. And this was back in like, maybe middle school, high school type thing, and it's like I would just sit there and I was just like he would just take her cigarettes and she wouldn't care, and I'm just like, okay, like he would just be rolling up, and I'm just like, whoa. And it was just the most craziest thing to me ever. Like I couldn't believe it. It's like if I tried to even fake bring a cigarette, like one of those candy cigarettes in mine. She like okay, one time I got caught with a bullet. I don't even remember how I got it at this point in time. But I had oh my god, I had a bullet. I think it was like from like a 45 or something. And actually no, I remember. And my friend, I won't say his name. I almost did. And my friend, his stepdad or his mom's boyfriend was like in like he was like a cop or FBI agent. So like he used to keep all of his gear in his room. Like he was a Teflon vest, bulletproof vest, just everything. So like I took just a couple bullets. I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm a kid. I'm dumb. My aunt found those bullets. Oh my gosh, she took everything out of my room. TV. At the time I had a PS2. She took everything until I told her where I got those bullets from. And being in 8th grade, almost in 9th grade, you hold out loyalty of your friend. Not that long, but you but you hold out loyalty for your friend. And I did. I told him, I was like, oh man, can you just I tried to make up a story. We tried to make up a story. Like I said, it was just like I said, it was just one of those things, man, where and like I think about that now. If I found something like that, it's like I just feel like, okay, as long as there's no gun to it, like I'm gonna just throw them away. Like I mean, but it's like I'm not gonna make a big fuss about it. Like that's the crazy thing about it now. It's like I've thought about that. I literally have, and I just thought like I'm just not gonna make like as long as I don't find anything that's gonna fire these bullets in this house, then yeah, okay.
I don't know, man. I look at it like this. When I was a kid, Saturday morning after a hard week of school, you know what I'm saying, wake up about 6:30 in the morning, grab my favorite bowl, my cereal, sit down in front of a good morning of cartoons.
13-inch TV.
You know what I'm saying, with the rotary dial. And I ain't gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? It was all over when the color TVs came out.
Yeah.
Then
Rotary TVs only had 9 channels. Oh,
you
to
know,
this day, I remember that. It only had 9 channels.
with the bootleg foil antenna, rabbit ears. You know what I'm saying? Watch my. Then if I knew I was gonna have some kind of chores, I try to clean up a little bit before everybody woke up. You know what I'm saying? 9, 10 o'clock. I was on my bike in the street playing stickball somewhere with the homies. Like you would know where everybody was at because you could drive down the street and see 12 bikes parked in somebody's grass.
Exactly. You didn't need a phone or texts or none of that. You just knew.
There was no social media. Yep. There was no cell phones. None of that. There wasn't even pagers. It was when it started getting dark. If you was hungry, you come home and eat. If when it started getting dark, you had your ass in by the streetlights. Now I watch these kids on a Saturday morning wake up at the crack of 1 noon, jump on their cell phones. Don't take no shower. Sit on their phone. You know what I'm saying, and FaceTime and do whatever and sit there looking stupid, and then about 2 o'clock, stumble down, get some food, sit on the couch, watch some TV, and then eat a little more, maybe go back to bed, take a nap. Like that, what do you do all day?
That's so true. That's so true. That's and then it's crazy because it's all ages. Like I said, I got an 8-year-old and 10-year-old, and they literally will stay up till about maybe 3-4 in the morning, go to sleep. They don't wake up till I never thought it would irritate me, but just having them wake up at like 3 in the afternoon pisses me off. Like royally
Yes.
pisses me off. Like
Yes,
I
you've
get
been up.
so mad. Like, dude, I've been at work all night and you have the audacity to sleep in.
Yes.
I get so mad. Oh my god! I'll be like, it's 3 o'clock. Do you know how much I've done? I've swept. I've maybe cleaned up a little bit. I've ate. Like
Bro.
like
Bro.
even on my days off, it's like okay, I played a game. I make the bed a little like, but you have the audacity to sleep in until 3 o'clock. Every time I walk past the room, I just want to throw something at them. Like get up,
You just want to
do
kick the bed like
something.
it's prison.
Oh man,
Bust the door in. I mean, dude,
seriously.
come on, man. I got my nephew, man. We'll literally we'll work out or something, and then he'll be like, "Yo, so I'm rolling with you tomorrow. We're gonna get some stuff done. We'll work on a car or whatever." All right, cool. I'll drop him off. So, all right, man, hit me up when you wake up. I'm gonna be bouncing out of here about, I'll give you a little slack because it's Saturday. Let's say 11. All right, cool. 11 o'clock come, I call him, no answer. 12 o'clock call, I'm leaving. 3 in the afternoon, text me. Oh man, I just woke up. What, bro? When I dropped you off last night, I still had 3 hours of work to do. You were supposed to go to sleep. Oh, I was on the phone with the homie. Man, what? Okay, but you knew you was getting up at 11, right? I got up at 9. Yeah,
I done
my
paid some
bad.
bills,
Yo,
achieve some more bills.
like I've worked a full shift already, bro. What you talking about? You just woke up. What are you doing now? Oh man, I just gotta get my life together. What the fuck? What?
It's like, dude, you're 14. What life?
Man,
What
like
life?
they really, but they got but it's just like I say, the problem is everything is at their fingertips, man. These dudes can watch every, like I still remember, man, like get like porn. Like in the back in the day, porn was a mission. Like it was like a team. It was a special ops mission. It was like 6 of y'all. People had been watching the counter. Somebody would had to have, take a peek, maybe, figure out how to get to the porn, you know what I'm saying, and get it out of there and then extract it, and y'all get to look at it and everybody's cool. Nowadays, you just roll over and type in on your cell phone, put your headphones in, and you straight.
like I remember a time when like Google's images were just crap. Like, and you type in anything now. I do mean anything. Like
Yep.
I was at work being bored one time. I was like, man, I was like, dude, I want to find something because, like, I like all those Skinamax TV shows back in the day, and all those like old Skinamax, like low budget, like softcore porns. I was like, damn, like it was one that I really liked. I was like, let me try to find, and you can find it. I found it. So I was like, oh, they got it on here. I was like, oh, I mean, I couldn't actually download it because there was no download, but it was just crazy to see that I can actually find this. And like I said, it was on it was on one website, and like so I clicked on it, and then they had every other one that used to come on. They talked about real sex and forbidden science, charisma. I mean, I could keep going. I'm like, oh my god, all these damn shows. I used to have to stay up till 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning just to watch this shit. Be tired of shit in the morning. But now, no. Just like you said, you just
Yep.
oh,
I looked up a thing, and they said the most Google search thing on the planet is porn.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind.
They said it wasn't even a close second. Like porn was, and I'm thinking, well, damn, the young kids are the main ones that run like this bad, bro. You start putting two together, you like, oh my god, these kids, and now the problem is, you give a kid a cell phone at 8 years old. Here you go. Oh, it's your birthday. They want a cell phone. What the do they need a cell phone for? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
cell phone because they want to call me because they're in trouble. Why do they need internet? Oh, because that's the only phones they have now. No, that's a lie. Look, I'm not gonna deprive them. They need to learn how to be fluent with the internet and stuff. Okay. Should I show you what the number one search thing is online? Because it's gonna happen. And I mean, it's not just like you said, you used to stay up late and you would be tired and it would be like one thing you would see. You'd be like, oh, that's cold blood. Dude, in 45 minutes, with a phone, do you know how much porn you could research?
Well,
you will be a
see, like
master.
they got categories now, and that's the scary part. It's
Yes.
like, there was no such thing as categories on HBO, because I can honestly say, if you stayed up to watch at 2 a.m, you were gonna see something that you didn't want to see. I guarantee you that. And you just had to sit through it. You just had to sit through it until something came up that was worth it. And like I said, it wasn't no guide channel back in the day. You just know at like 2 a.m, you got like softcore porn. But at the time, you didn't know it was soft porn. You thought this was the real deal. A pair of titties. That's basically all I needed, because that's all they showed. That's all they really showed. They didn't really show nothing else.
Yeah. So
and it was a long soap opera with a pair of boobs. That's like that's basically what you stayed up for, and you loved every second of it. But now, no, you got categories and on top of categories, and like I said, I never even knew that there was so much different kind of genres. I thought, there was just standardized sex. But then as a kid, when I was unlocked to the genres, I'm just like you just don't want to stop. You literally just don't want to stop. And you're like, how messed up can I get? And then you stumble upon Two Girls in One Cup, and then you're like, okay. And now I need to stop. Like,
I mean,
now you're like,
I always say, when you go, that's when you know you went too far.
Yeah,
it's always that
you
moment.
Alice went too far down the rabbit hole, and that kind of like turned me off, because I'm just like, okay, I need to stop. I need to get friends. I need to enjoy life. But then, like you start to question your choices of decisions of what you've looked up and what you've done to lead up to this. Like, you start
bro,
you look at it, bro, you look at it, think about it, how much work and effort you had to put into it. Like, it was late at night, the door had to be closed, the volume had to be down, you was all that. What do they say when you doing something like that? What's the most sensitive organ in your body? Most people don't get it, but it's your ears, because any noise, you like, oh, you ready to turn the TV off.
That's very true. That's very true. I used to have the previous button. I used to have my hand on, not my hand, but my finger on the previous button or the last button or like whatever button that got me to something. And because you could have just turned the channel up and down. You had to turn it to cartoons or something believable. And then not only did you have to do that, like I had to that would be like turn to the last thing. So I would have to do that and then change the channel up and down.
Channel.
So
skip a channel so they couldn't get back.
So it was like a cheat code that I used to have to do whenever I heard a door, even the floorboard, anything. It didn't matter if it was nothing. If I felt like I heard something, I was like, nope.
A marble could have dropped on the garage floor. Show. Like, it would have been real go time. This is not a drill. But now, like I said, these kids literally throw on some headphones, play that.
Exactly. They could be sitting right next to you watching it, and you would never know. They could be at the dinner table.
chilling.
Just looking at it, and you just would never know.
Even when they in their room, you sit there, you knock before you come in the room, mom. What? I tear this door off the hit. I pay for this door.
Exactly. They don't need a TV. It's like, yes, they didn't have phones, but I couldn't imagine watching like mobilized. It's like if you got a TV to watch it, nope. They're like, nope, the phone's 4K. It's like, why
Man,
do I need a goddamn TV?
dude, you know, oh my God. You can get 4K streaming with the internet, dude. Come on now. I'm sorry, but when I was growing up, there was no internet, and when they got internet, it was dial up, and that I could go play outside for 2 hours and come back.
AOL.
Yeah, that was still with the stupid little friends all holding hands. And yeah, we're about to walk, man. Fuck that, dude. I was like, it's trash. Okay, these kids. I said, dude, if I had high speed internet and access to porn like that when I was a kid, man, I don't even know what would have happened, bro. I was
Seriously.
You'll probably be Quagmire.
yes,
Yeah.
I would have came outside
I
one day
mean,
and they'd have been like, "Oh shit, you still here?"
like, but you know what's insane, and I think this is the biggest thing. It's like we actually enjoyed going out, and I mean, even though I don't hike the words, I don't hike this word because my kids use it every time they go out with their mother. But I will say it in this sense. It's like we actually enjoyed going to have adventures. I don't like saying the word because you sound like I sound like a child saying it, but it's like, yeah, like we would have adventures, and it's like it was fun. It's like you would go hang out with friends, or just like you said, meet up at the park on your bike, and you wouldn't know what you were going to do that day. It's like summers were amazing because you're just like, okay, I know that this person is here. And then, you take your bike to the store and see this person and this person and this person, and they got food stamps. And then you talk shit about that person have food stamps. And then you take some of their food stamps. And then you go over this person's house and play like 64 for a little bit. And then you go to this person's and get some waters or some juice. And then you're at the park until like 10 at night. Just like, oh my God, it was like, there was no sense of time. Just like you said, as soon as the street lights came on, even though we really didn't really care about any of that, we was like, it's summertime, we staying out because the park was literally like 3 houses down. So we was at the park and then and this was the crazy part. It's like if my aunt wanted to find us because we didn't have not in cars, phones. It's like she would just drive around and we knew the car. We're like, well, we gotta go. Like we already knew. Or somebody, like it was crazy. Like she knew how to get a hold of somebody to find us. It's like I still don't get it to this day, but it's like we just knew that, okay. Or like I said before, if we knew we were going to be out for too long, the age-old thing was the collect call. Like that was the thing. And like I said, that has got me out of trouble so many times, it's not even funny. Because I be out and about and I don't want to come home, and you do that collect call and she be like, it's good. Okay. You ain't gotta tell me twice. Or we'll go over a friend's house and call and be like, hey, I'm at Chris's house and I'm gonna just stay over here. It's a night. Okay. And then, like I said, Chris wasn't 18 miles away. He was literally in the neighborhood. So it's like if she knew I was at Chris's house, then if you need me to come home, just knock on Chris's parents' door and there you go. And people understood. Right? People understood. And it's
okay. You remember the handoff then? I remember that. Yo, I'm gonna go to my homeboy's house. He right across the street. Okay.
Yeah.
And once you done, you call, and then homie's dad will walk me out to the street, and then my mom will be at my yard, and I get to walk, look both ways. You walk across the street, the parents will wave. All right, cool. Get your ass now.
That is true.
Dude.
That is true. And And like I said, those are the things that make it hit me up sad, or sorry, hit me upset and sad, because the kids aren't gonna have any of these great moments that I had of just hanging out with friends. And because it's like when we used to be like, okay, hey, and let's hoop. And it's like we used to go hoop, but not now hooping is 2K. It's like it's not the same. Like it's not the same. Every time I touch a basketball to this day, I feel like Jesus Shuttlesworth and he got game. Like I just feel like I'm in that park just getting ready to shoot. Like every time I get on a court with the basketball, it just floods me with it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling that I cannot describe. And you could be the most out of shape person or have it shot in forever, but you still feel that way, and you still have that. Like kids, oh God, and kids don't have that now, and it's just sad to think like 2K is the closest thing they'll really get to like a park game. It's like, do you know how many times I've sat at the park? How many hours? Like, dude, I think I've ran like 12 games straight at the park, and I was literally dead to rights. But you chill and you drink some Gatorade, and you're at McDonald's eating 40 nuggets, laughing and having fun, and then you're back at it all over again. Body is aching, and like I said, kids, like, man, it's I just can't imagine a kid's just do like don't get me wrong. I love technology. I love it. But as a kid, I feel like I wouldn't trade that for the world. I love all the experiences I had without having technology.
Sitting at the park, like
Oh, no.
Jordan.
I can't even have the VR headset off for that long any goddamn. I try to play what's that game? The shooting game. I mean, it's fun. It's just, man, after a while you just get woozy and like, so I couldn't imagine that. That's funny. That is hilarious.
And people tell me shit like that, dude, you can be in a shooting game on VR. Nah, man, I grew up in LA. I was in that shit in real life. Okay, there was no quarters in that game, homie.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can honestly say that it's not bad. It's a different experience. Like, especially if you play like Resident Evil 7. I would not advise playing Resident Evil 7. I could detest that it is by far one of, if not one of the most scariest games that I've ever played in my life, especially if you're playing it on VR with the headset on or surround sound. You will jump and probably fish yourself. I don't care how tough you think you are. I guarantee you.
I'm good. All that shit. I'm like, I went out and played paintball like competitively. I'm straight. I don't need
Yeah,
no
see, like that. Like I said, those are things that our generation, like, I mean, I can't wait until I do obtain a car. So because like I tell the kids all the time, like I want to take them fishing and like, to the woods to camp and stuff like that. It's like, but at the same time, I still feel like, just like I said before at the beginning of all this, it takes parents actually taking their phones and their technology away and actually going to go do stuff with them and having them experience those things. Like, you can't just take the phone away and be like, go out and
I just had to show you that real quick. Like, I'll just say, man, this is the future, man.
trust me, I know.
It's sad. Yes, it's sad. It's a very sad future. Of all
crazy.
it's doing is making it okay for people to segregate themselves.
Oh, interesting. Please go on.
Bro,
I'm curious.
You don't need friends anymore. You
Oh,
kidding me?
wow.
Think about it. Yo, Instagram. I've hit people up, man. I got thousands of friends on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Blah, blah, blah. How many of those dudes do you really kick it with in person?
That's very true.
Man, okay. And now they're like, oh, you can virtually talk to people. I mean, think about it. I watched again my nephew. He's older dude now. When he was younger, he used to come in the house with his homeboy, and I'm like, oh, okay, you got his little homie. They would go upstairs, jump on the sticks. I'm like, okay, they're gonna play a video game. And I walk up there, and these dudes are on Xbox Live or whatever, and they just talking to other people. I'm like, why don't you just go hang out with these guys? Oh, well, we're just sitting here. I'm like, you guys aren't actually doing anything. And then,
Yeah. Oh my
homie,
God. I don't know. I listen to my kids do that same thing on Fort. I mean, obviously they're younger, but I'm like, y'all just sitting here screaming back and forth with each other.
like, take that.
Like,
I remember when you used to be too loud, and your parent be like, take that shit outside. Now,
yeah.
no. I said, dude, you don't have any real like homies to chill with? Nah, man. Well, they right here. See them on the thing, dude. My nephew went to Vegas and ran into a person that went to his school, and my brother was like, "Oh, it was the weirdest shit ever," because the chick was like, "Oh, I think I know that dude," and then they figured out they not only went to the same school, they were in the same class together. And dude didn't know. He was like, I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, I think so. So, and then my brother was like, oh, did they hang out? Nope. He was just like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, we go to the same school. Oh yeah, I see you in class next week.
I mean, like, no, seriously, like, I don't even understand how kids date. Like, everything is virtual. It's like, man, I was telling my niece that I was like, you don't date. There's no way you have time to date. Like, how? Just because you talk to somebody and y'all say that y'all going out, it's like, I wish that would have flew back in the day. No, not in high school back in the day. No, you had to solidify, prove your love back. No, or like prove to people that y'all dating. You had to spend time with a person.
I was keep telling you, man. G seems like he's a little younger, man, because he's like, nah, he's like, he
Okay,
sound like my nephew.
listen to me. G's okay. I'm gonna put some G up like this. G has been focused on individual success / individual life. Like, I learned a long time ago because it used to weird me out too. I understand, but then again, obviously, I don't agree because I live a different life. But I get, I mean, and I might be wrong about this, but what I've chalked it up to, G wants to be a certain, like, he wants a certain life. And he sees this life until he gets this life, he won't do anything else. That's how I put it in my mind. It's like he sees a life, he wants the life, and until he gets this life, then he's not gonna make time for women or this or that or kids or anything. It's just not in his agenda. But the funniest thing about it, he's not the only person that I've saw who's like that. So I can't dog him too much because if that's how you see your life, and that's how you see your life, it's like, yeah, like I wanted to, like, I mean, I didn't want, a kid, but I felt like, okay, I'm with the chick who has a kid. Okay, I want a kid too. Like, I'm not just gonna, at the time, just be like taking care of, another person's kid. I mean, I can, but I don't want to. Like, I mean, and so, but like, it's great now. And it worked itself out, but like I said, I just feel like G is just a different type of guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I mean, I feel like B is the same way. I feel like until they get to a certain type of lifestyle that they have in their mind, I'm not saying it's real, I'm not saying it's fake, but it's just their type of lifestyle. And that's what I have chalked it up to all these years, because I used to push the whole girl thing and, let's do this and let's go do that. And, it used to weird me out, but I'm just like, yeah, like women are a distraction. Kids are a distraction. If you have a mental view of the type of life that you want, I can 100% agree with that. Now, is it a life of not fulfilling this? Because I couldn't imagine my life without kids and relationships and experiences and all of this stuff. But like I said, if I wanted to have a goal in life or reach a goal in life, then yeah, I don't think that I can have I hate to say it like this, and the burden of a family or kids, because you always feel like, okay, I got to do what's best. Well, I'm the type of person, I have to do what's best for them. And that puts me on the back burner a lot. And if you're not built like that, then you're not built like that. Like, it's just how it is. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
And some people are not built like that. And I don't think G is the type of person who is built like that. He wants what he wants. And I do not disagree with that. Now, is it taking long as yes. But I mean, hey.
Oh man, I love that. Yeah, man, it is.
But I mean, at the same time, it's like honestly, it's his life. I can't, I'm just a brother / friend. I'm just here to support his decisions. Like I used to look too much into it, and I don't do that no more. Well, like, it's your life, bro. Yeah. You do what you want to do, man. Yeah. I can't tell you what you're doing is wrong, just like you can't tell me what I'm doing is wrong. It's like we both see what's right and wrong. Yeah. And that's just how I see it now.
Yeah, it's just we have our path. I mean, like I said,
yeah.
I mean, like truthfully, like I said, I don't want to get too much into it, but like we went back and forth because I see a certain way, you see things a certain way. It's not that's why I say like we are like brothers, because it's not that we say things to try to hurt each other. Honestly, it's just that we want the best for each other. We just see the best what the best is in different ways, and that's not a problem. At this point, like I'm sure you feel the same way. You're a grown ass man, and you gotta make your own decision as a man. So
yeah,
I agree. But you're right. It's taking too fucking long. Like it's pissing me off.
But and that's the thing that I feel like kids don't have either. They don't have that one-on-one connection to this friendship, brotherhood took a long time to form, and it took a lot of and kids, if you're literally online all the time, it's like, okay, talking over the phone, yes, our friendship was built over the phone, but at the same time it was sustained because of our connection and like our experiences. And like I said, if you're always just on the game, just talking through a headset, playing a video game, it's not the same. It's just not the same. It's not. It's not like how GMB came out here like a day or two after my son was born, and
2 days.
Held my son
2 days
and stuff
after.
Like that. Yeah,
2 days 2 days.
2 days after when he was born, and then shared in that memory. It's and those are the things that build a bond. It's like these kids nowadays, they don't have that. They don't care to, and it's scary. It's scary to feel like, yes, everything is being brainwashed to be like, no, online everything or from a distance. It's like, kids have everything at the fingertips of their hands. It's like we still have the will to work, because I like to work. I like to get out of the house and go do my 8 hours, but after that, leave me alone. Yeah. But it's like, at the same time, it's like these kids can get food delivered to them. They can get condoms delivered to them. They can get, I mean, I hate to say it, sex with not just disgusting chicks. It's like you could go on these online and meet another person who, like, this chick might be bomb, and she'll come and y'all do what y'all do, and y'all don't never got to see each other again. It's like everything, just like Adrian said, is at your fingertips. It's like you can get, it's crazy. You can get a Big Mac, some condoms, a chick, and a DQ McFlurry or ice cream all in the same hour.
You don't have to work. You don't have to really work for anything anymore.
Exactly. You don't have to work for it.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part about life. It's like you don't have to work for anything. It's like you don't have to want, you don't really have to need. It's like, because I tell people, it's like trying to ask my aunt for a video game back in the day. It's like, was like the most hardest thing. It was like pulling teeth. It's like now they got GameFly or Redbox or just video games aren't even that much. Especially now, every game now is so cheap because of this pandemic. It's not even funny. Like 2K is only like $27. Like 2K has never been $27 ever. in any store in February. It's like Assassin's Creed is only like $30. It's like it's just because these games aren't selling because of this pandemic. You know, it is what it is. But like Madden now is only like, even though this season's over, it's been $25. Like it's never been like that. It's never been like that. So it's like these like things are just so much cheaper. It's like yes, that's the only thing that's more expensive now is like controllers and stuff like that. Like I'm not a big fan of paying $70 for a controller. Like I don't get me wrong, I don't go through controllers like that, but kids do. Kids do, especially on the Switch. Like my son has a Switch, and she was just telling me that his controllers are messed up, so I let him use my other one to the Switch, and like I got like 3 of them. So, but like I said, it's like even like my left Joy-Con just started messing up, and I've had my Switch and for like 4 years. So, but it's just kids, you know, kids are kids.
Yeah,
You good?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh no, no, oh no, I'm not talking to you guys.
Oh, okay.
Are you sleeping? You can come in here and sleep. I could go out there, or you could just walk right past me and not say anything. Oh, but yeah, no, like okay, there you go, Ed. We're back. But yeah, man, kids, man, they won't know the joys of life when it comes to like, you know, I mean, because like it wears me out because I'm always like, how do you ask a girl out on a date? Or like, how do you ask a girl to like prom or something like that? Like, do you do it over a message? And does she accept that? Like,
Yep.
that's crazy to me. That's crazy. Be like, hey, you want to go to prom?
Okay.
You want to go to prom with me and prom? like I just couldn't imagine texting somebody that.
You know, I was with my nephew and he saw this chick and he's like, girl, that chick's kind of cute. So he walks over and starts talking to her. He comes back. I was like, oh, shit, you talked to her? He's like, yeah, I got her snap. And I'm like, you got her
I
snap?
got her snap. Oh wow.
Then he sits there.
Why is that such a big thing? Why like I've never had a Snapchat, so I don't see the allure in it.
And so I explained to him, I'm like, bro, you sitting there talking to her. He's like, yeah, but I got her snap. So they start conversating through Snap. And I'm like, what the hell is the point of that? And he was like, well, it's cool because I get to see all her pictures while I'm talking to her. And then 2 days later, I'm like, yeah, well, he said, that's how you do it, you know? So I'm talking to him and I'm like, yo, so what's the deal? And he was like, nah, that whatever, that chick, whatever. I was like, are you serious?
Hey, but that's crazy though. I used to love to go and like, especially when I was like fresh out of high school. Like I thought I was a cocky person back in the day, like back in like 2006. I used to love going to talk to chicks, man.
You kind of were. You kind of were.
Like, oh my God. I loved every second of it. I mean, I know I was, but it's just like I didn't like I said, image personify. It's like if you were away in high school, but you can be whoever you want. Like I moved to a different city, a different state. Like I went from one state to the next state to a whole different city, a whole different environment. So I could be whoever I wanted to be. And that helped me become the person I am today. But like, I just couldn't imagine being like talking to a chick and being like, okay, let me get your MySpace. I wouldn't take myself seriously. I wouldn't be like, well, oh my God.
What is
I just like even now, it's like I just enjoy talking, like enjoy the moment. Like that's the type of person I am now. Like even with the kids, it's like I don't like taking a lot of pictures or a lot of videos, even though I should, but I just like the moment. I like the just being in the moment of this is our moment. You know, I'm not going to share it with anybody. I'm not going to post it online. this is my moment with my kids, or with just anything. It's like people don't take that, like people don't do that enough. If you ask me, it's like you need to enjoy the moment. It's like like I watch people, like I look at people who got like 6,000 pictures on Instagram, and like 6,000 of or 590 of them are just of them selfies, or them doing dances. I'm just like, so you created a Facebook for you to do TikTok videos or dance or take a bunch of selfies, and then you got people who take pictures and put their kids every day. It's a new picture of your kid. It's like your kid looks exactly the same. It's like, don't get me wrong, I put pictures of my kids, like of my son when he makes funny faces, or like, I feel like I want to share something with the world. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it anymore because you just got a lot of weird people online, so I really don't like to post things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I just feel bad for teenagers. It's like they don't, like, not only are they having a hard time in life and living and like that, they just like, it's just a disconnect. Phones, yes, I do agree. Or not even the phones, having the internet at the palm of your hand, at the tip of your fingers, is the problem. That is the number one problem. That is the beginning and the end. I will say that, because I know when I got, like, I will say it's a problem for me too. It's like I wouldn't know how to look up a definition of a word. Like, I don't have a dictionary. I know when I was growing up, we had a dictionary, a phone book, what is the other one? What is it called? No, yeah, that, but the other one,
Thesaurus.
oh my, yeah. We had all 4 or 5 of those books, and the encyclopedia was like 90 books, 90 volumes of life.
Yep.
Like literally, it was 90 volumes of life. And the funny thing about it is, it didn't have current events. It just had general life things. Like, but and that was like, I don't know if it was in like to this day, I think about that. Do they update it, or did they just be like or not? Did they update it? But it's like, did they actually update it, and like how far did they go? And until they just said, I'm done. And it's just like, kids will never know, having to look for a friend's name in the phone book and try to get their parents' name, and calling 13 different people. It's like, it was a chick I knew, and I did that, and I went through the phone book, and it was embarrassing, and then I had to hide it from my cousins and my aunt while doing it, and then I couldn't write in the phone book because God forbid she'd have a heart attack. Like, so I had to like I remember which one I did. I called a bunch of people, the same people. It was a lot. It was a lot, man. And you just don't get, like I said, kids don't have to work for it anymore. It's like I said, you could just hand a chick your phone and just be like, yeah, give me your number, and she'll give it to you or she won't.
Mm-hmm.
And
you don't have to be dread. You don't have to have gear. You don't have to have game. You just
yeah, and even worse, it's like, yeah, you don't even get a number. It's like texting and calling. I would accept that, but yes, when a dude asks for a chick snap, or like, put your IG, like, I'm so tired of hearing that. It's like, that just screams to me that you just want to see what this chick looks like half naked. That's all I hear every time I hear, what's your IG. Like, I mean, you just want to see what this chick's working with, so you can judge if you want to pursue going forward. I don't hear anything else. Like, okay, Snap is whatever it is, but IG, we all know what IG is. It's not like Facebook. That's why everybody switched over and to Instagram, just because I'm tired of the stories that people put on Facebook. So it's like, yeah, just show me a picture or video. I can live with that. because Facebook is a bunch of nonsense. People put a bunch of nonsense on there that I can care less for. Instagram at least gets to the point. I will say that much.
And that's how most people take it. That's the sad part about it. I mean, dude, these kids, and that's all they do. Yeah, give me the chick snap. Okay, I got it. I'm looking at it. Nah, I'm good. I'm cool. Next.
Nah, I'm good.
Good. Nope, I'm straight. You should see her, man. I ain't drunk. Fuck that. I'm like, dude, what the hell? And then
And,
dude's like, just that
and guys
easy.
will say that.
But yeah, no, I mean that's just how it is, and that sucks. It's very interesting to see these dudes nowadays because they literally don't. That's just how it is. There's no game involved in it no more.
Got the itis.
Got the itis.
Yeah, so I mean, I like, I know you guys said that, you know, or not you guys, but I know that, like I said, they're blamed. Like, you know, we sit here and try to make excuses for internet, man, or actually not excuses for internet, but it's like I'm literally watching, you know, Sports Center, and I got the Xbox on right now, and you know, I just wouldn't be able to do any of this without internet. I wouldn't be able to have this conversation without internet. So, you know, in my mind, you know, I'm sitting here talking about, oh, kids this, kids that, but I'm doing like 6-7 things that do with internet.
And you're like,
And
is internet really that bad?
Right? And you know, I'm like, no, you know, kids should go outside. I'm just like, it's like dark 30 at night. It's like, should they really go outside right now? Could I expect them to be doing anything? Right? Like,
Man, I mean, internet definitely has opened up new opportunities and stuff, and really chances to grow. And you know, for me, like I said, I regret not hopping on the internet like I did the first time and not sticking with it. You know, that's probably one of my biggest regrets. But with that being said, it's like, I mean, it's true. I mean, without the internet, I mean, the internet has. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the internet has kept me afloat, man. I'll be honest. You know, when I ain't got nothing going on, shoot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's cool. But the internet, like I explained to these kids, there's two ways to use the internet. You can use the internet as a tool, and you can use the internet as a toy.
True.
You got to figure out which way you're going to use it.
True. But I mean, I get when you're young. I mean, of course, the internet's going to be a toy when you're young. It's just when you get older, you got to worry about that. Like, I'm not surprised about that. Heck, when I was a kid, I used the internet as a tool. No, that's not true. I can't even say that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even say that because I can remember one year in middle school. No BS, man. I spent an entire summer sitting on the computer learning how to use a 3D program. Learning how to model for an entire summer. And learned it. I did the tutorials and learned it from front to back. The only reason why I forgot it all and I didn't keep going with it is because, well, one, my high school didn't have like a 3D programming anything, and two, I went to high school because I think I was in middle school. School took up all my time, so I couldn't keep with it.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing, but in the same token, you still learn how to do something. How many kids can you say, oh yeah, that kid learned how to code, or that kid learned this or that?
For the summer, going swimming.
oh shit, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I mean at the end of the day, dude, that's like the hard fact about the whole situation. Like, kids don't want to take the benefits of it. They want to play on it, you know, but they don't want to learn how to use it.
At the same time, I mean, like I said, I don't have kids. I get it. I mean, I kind of get what it is to be a kid, and you know, I mean, when you don't understand things and don't have responsibilities, I mean, one of the things I feel like that we don't allow anymore, that I feel like that's lost, is that we don't accept and allow kids to mess up and make mistakes anymore.
Yeah, I can see that, but nowadays the mistakes are a lot bigger.
I agree. But at the same time,
That mistake ends up ruining their life. Period.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's the problem, though, that I just don't feel like as a kid, you can't be a kid anymore. I mean, I don't feel like that. I mean, again, I don't have kids, but just listening to you guys and, looking at what's going on now and like all the access they have to everything and just, I know if I was a kid, I don't think I would. I don't think that there would be any. I don't want to say grow up too fast, because that's totally wrong. Because I'm thinking about like when, like, particularly in you, like when we were kids, like growing up too fast was because we didn't have a choice. That's different. This to me is, this is the best way to put it, is allowing kids to deal with adult situations too soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel like, and again, I'm not a parent, so it's hard for me to say all this. And so again, like y'all can tell me, because I'm not trying to overstep my bounds, but it's just how I feel that I just feel like kids are being introduced to too much. They have too many expectations. There's no room for growth. It's like you gotta do right or you're done. Like it's too much. To me, like, I get why kids have mental issues. Come on now, like, how people record fights and stuff and put that on the internet, man. I know guys straight up. I think I told you this before. Like, man, if they lost a fight, they would keep going back till they won. And you talk about recording your fight, and don't get me wrong, like I was in the era where that happened. Hell, my last fight was recorded,
Mm-hmm.
But man, when you go back and like, man, well, okay, that's wrong. It's not.
Well, in that instant, like most of my grade school fights, those dudes turned into my best homies.
Yeah, no, that's true. I could think of a couple of times. Like, there's this one dude I remember back in, like, this goes back to sixth grade. Sixth grade, I remember this dude, man. I couldn't stand him, man. I had like pure issue. Like, he was,
Mm-hmm.
that next year, man, we got into class with each other, and he was like one of the coolest guys I've ever met. He went from a dude who I wanted to punch in the face to a guy like, man, I really get where you're coming from. I took the time to sit down and talk to you and see what you were going through and all that stuff. And, I haven't talked to him in years. Went to different schools, but at that time, man, like, he was a real good friend, man, and that dealt with a lot, come on now, when you got your friend, in seventh grade about to fight basically one of the coaches because of some gang, it's like, hey.
Dude said, yeah, coach, I know you over there banging. I'm about to fight. We gonna fight, dog.
Yeah, man.
Nah, I'm telling you, bro.
Crazy.
But like all of that is just like, I don't even know. Like, kids can be kids nowadays. It's just with everything that goes on, they just have to be cautious, and that's one thing I can say. Kids don't pay attention. So yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to be concerned for them, because they would literally not pay attention to their surroundings and get themselves into a situation, and it would be bad. And like he said earlier, you're not trying to hear no phone call or your kid get over some shit that you could have avoided. So, you know, it's like you try to teach your kids street smarts, but they're more interested in, learning what the new dance craze is on TikTok.
I honestly think that's like the hardest and scariest thing in the world. Is like, I'll be honest, I don't want to raise a moron. I don't want to raise it. It's one of those things that I really thought about this from time to time. It's like I always say, like, I would love for my kids to go through the things I went through, but at the same time, it's like, it's hard for me to say that because I don't think they'll deal with it and handle it the way I did, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the scariest part is, and again, you tell me better, like how do you give those kids the lessons that you had that was so important for your growth? And how do you give those lessons to them? Like that's the one thing that's just like, it's a worry. It's like, how do I instill some of the traits and some of the things I went through to get me through the hard times? Like, how do I instill that? How do I instill that stuff into you? You know, how do I instill, like, you know, hey man, watch your surroundings and all that stuff.
I mean,
how do you do that?
That's just the in the moment choice, man. I mean, I can honestly say you can't plan for anything because every kid is different.
Yeah,
that's just like literally, it's just the in the moment choice. Like everything I wanted to do as a parent got thrown out the window. Like,
I've heard that. I've heard that from so many parents. I've heard that from so many parents.
Like I can't tell you how to parent your kids, how you're gonna parent them, and because you can have it depends on how your chick is. You know, it depends on how you and her interact with each other. It depends on it just so many things are the factors. It's not just having a kid and that's it. It's so many different variables. And then if you have multiple kids, like just because you have 2 kids doesn't mean that they're gonna be the same or they're gonna think the same. They could be raised by the same 2 people for their whole lives and be completely different. Like I learned that the hard way.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm not a parent, but I mean, I'm speaking to 2 parents here, and it's like, I don't know if that's the most important thing to you, but like I mean, just to me, like I feel like, you know, the most important thing to me, if anything, is to at least give my kids through the formative years, you know, safely and wisely. Oh man. Oh, you there?
I mean,
Okay.
my most important thing right now is just keeping this kid alive. Like that's like right now, it's like, but I mean, yeah, it's just not trying to not have this kid or these kids make the mistakes that I did because I didn't have a person telling me anything. It's like with credit and patience. It's like teaching your kids patience is probably one of the best traits in the world. Like things will come, but they're just not going to come as fast as you want them to.
Oh,
just because you have the internet,
the hard way.
I didn't like no, like just because you got internet at the tip of your fingers doesn't mean everything is going to work that fast. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no,
but it's just like being a presence. Like that's the thing too. It's just being a presence. It's like a lot of parents just aren't like mentally there for their kids, and I feel like that plays a problem in a teenager's life. Not in like if kids are young, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, it ain't that big of a deal. But teenagers, I feel like even though they don't want anything to do with you, I feel like they need their parents' guidance. I know as a teenager, I would have loved to have my aunt just listen to me. And, you know, man, like in high school, you have a lot of bad days. Like, you just do. Like, it just happens. Like, you have a lot of bad days. Yeah, but I mean, high school is a transitional period where every person, I don't care who you are, high school was a time where you saw other people and you compared yourself to other people. It's like you really don't do that at any other time in life. It's like as an adult, I know I'm not this person. I know I'm not that person, and I don't care to be. People like me for me. You know, I'm an adult. I pay my own bills. I don't care how you feel about me. But it's like you go to high school, it's just another different bracket of like, okay, why do all the chicks attract to this dude? And I know I'm smarter than him. I'm taller than him. I'm funnier than him, but why is all the chicks still attracted to him? And it's like nobody's giving you that answer. And you're just lost, like, okay, what does this guy have that I don't? And like, who knows? He might have a car or he might have, I don't know, you know, who knows? but does, and that's what overruns. That's not what's told to you as a kid, or as a teenager. It's like you're just left to fend for yourself, or we were just psychologically not understand why we weren't liked by this person, or why this person just wants to fight me for no reason. It's like, what did I do to you to make you want to just fight me? It's like, did I say something? And then, but like as a kid, you don't ask those questions. You're just like, we're gonna fight, I don't care. But as an adult, I look back on it now, like, what was this dude's beef with me? It's like, what did I do to piss him off?
Yeah, I mean, to me, and this is how I feel, especially about high school, just to me, there was just everything was happening, and it actually was, it's actually nothing. Well, I said that wrong. Everything was going on, but it really is meaningless. But as a high school kid, it means everything because you're not out in the real world yet, So when I look back at high school, it was just like everything felt like everything was going on. Everything. Up and down, right and left, skies, blue, green, red, and forest at the same time. And it did feel like, man, you got the entire world to go against you, even though that's not really what the case is. But just when you're that young and just it's just like, just to me, it just felt like everything came at me fast and I had no time to think. It was just either do or die, and sometimes that actually what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And, it just, I think it would be cool, to have somebody to help navigate you through that process because it is a lot, it's as I'm older, of course, I realize, okay, it ain't that bad, but well, that's a lie now, but for some years there, it wasn't that bad. But, at that time, it just felt like everything was going on. Nothing slowed down, never had time to think. It was just action. Some days it was good, some days it was bad, but it's like, it's like to me, if I wasn't at home, I didn't have time to breathe. That's just kind of how it felt.
Holy shit. I get it, bro. But
Yeah.
A lot of times when you look at it too, the things that they're like, oh, these kids are going through, it's not really that bad.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not that bad, but when you're going through it at that time, at that age, it feels like it's the end of the world sometimes. Just because you don't know nothing yet, So that's why, like, I kind of agree with Keith. Like, yeah, at times it would have been nice to have somebody to help who kind of knew what's going on to navigate you, because sometimes you didn't have navigation. Like I said, I ran through a lot of my childhood like a chicken with its head cut off. Some like I tell people, I was very lucky and fortunate in my life to either be on that outside looking in or be on the inside looking in. A lot of times I got away with doing nothing. I tell everybody, like, how the way I used to be in some of the stuff I used to do, I am very lucky and fortunate. I didn't go down the path that a lot of people did back then. And I always said, like people wonder, like, why I'm religious is because of how I got through high school. Because I'm like, there's no way I should have got through it the way I did. Like, because if anybody else took the path I did, a lot of them would be in jail, dead, in the streets, been banging for years. Like, telling you, I've got real lucky.
Mm-hmm. I get that. But at the same token, that's just you.
Yeah, I agree. Of course.
Some of these other people be like, oh man, my girl left me. We dated for 7 days. My life is over.
I've been through that too. I want to tell that story one day, but I've been through that too. I know exactly how that feels. Like I said, it felt like everything was going on all at the same time. That's kind of my point. But keep going. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let you go.
No, That's pretty much it. Like, I mean, just like you're like, oh man, my life, but really, you wasn't like, oh, my life is over. I said I'm done. That 2 weeks was the best 2 weeks of my life. It'll never change. It's it. Done.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Yeah, liking a girl in high school was not the easiest.
But I mean, you can say it wasn't the easiest, but I mean, that's
Yeah.
why you just tell kids like, look, you need to focus on yourself. Don't focus on worrying about all that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of those things that I know at that time it's like, and again, like I said, that's not always advice I got, but I have got that. But it's like, and at the time, it's like how I'm going to focus on. I mean, when everything else is going on, you don't realize until you're older, like how easy it is. You don't think about it because to me, you're just in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel like when you're young. That's why I say I'm more accepting to a lot of kids making mistakes than most people. But I agree because now just because of how everything is, your mistakes now have long-lasting consequences than what it did for us.
Yep. Because you know what? Before, if I did something, you would just lay low until everything blew over. And if it didn't, you would just take the consequences. Now, everybody got a camera in your face. You acted out. Everybody saw it. So, yeah, you might as well just turn yourself in.
Telling you, man, police probably had the most easiest jobs today. Well, okay, maybe not today. But I would say about 2 or 3 years ago, pretty simple. Sit on the internet and wait. Be patient.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, dude gonna snitch on himself. Everybody knows.
Dude, man. I mean, dude, it is. I feel like that's a pandemic right now. Dry snitching on yourself. That is a pandemic.
That's it. Oh no!
World Star and first 48.
He's a world star at first 48.
No, you don't got to double up like R. Kelly, buddy. Put him on one hanger. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
He was putting his pants on 2 hangers. You don't got to do that no more. I know it was a bad choice of a reference.
Yeah, threw me off.
But that's what came to mind, and that's what happened. So it's out there now. Deal with it. But okay, yeah. So I'm gonna let you guys go.
Yeah,
I got stuff to do, and trying to deal with this and talk is a little bit harder than I thought it was gonna be.
Nah, that's cool, man. I mean, it's 10 o'clock. We could all end it right here, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to thank y'all for checking out this podcast. We definitely appreciate it. And if you guys want to tell everybody where they can find you at,
Good times.
Yeah.
You can catch me in the good times.
No, I say. I was saying, can you tell people where they can find you at?
Mediums are the same. My first name, last name. It's not that hard to find.
Well, I told them where to find me at. You can find me in the good times, hanging in the child line. Good times.
Hanging in the child line.
Ain't we lucky we got them? Boom, 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 boom. Good time.
All right then, man. I want to thank y'all for checking this one out. I appreciate it. And yeah, y'all have a good night, man.
All right.
Good one.
All right.